Okay, so I'm doing this as an assignment for my stepfather. We're gonna see where this goes, okay? I'm gonna probably create another window. I need a new window for this. Not that window, yeah, new window. But in order to do this, and yes, there's some Switch 2 stuff. There's some PlayStation. I wanted to get the PlayStation 5 Pro, but whatever. So this is video 1 of what we're talking about. Now that's games I want or movies I want, but I'm not really a Call of Duty fan, so we're not going to do that. I mean, it is the biggest game in the world, but it's also the most repetitive, and, you know, Call of Duty is more like akin to a sports franchise like Assassin's Creed. So there are like 2 games I'm actually going to talk about, like, a few games that are like Japanese. I'm actually going to do like maybe even 10 of these. He said 3. We'll do 10. But the first one, I want to do Ocarina of Time and save that one for last because we all know that one's really hyped. And I just play it, but we're going to do Final Fantasy VII Trilogy right now. So, Final Evaluation. Now, here's the thing. I do have a hunch that, I'll get to that, not religion, not that in a past existence, somehow, and I'll get to that in 11th video, I did play Final Fantasy VII back on PS1, but I'm not going to talk much about that. No religion and no politics, he said. So, this game that I'm talking about that has been coming out, including Final Fantasy VII, where's Remake? And keep in mind, this is the first time it's coming to Switch 2, but it's a game key card. I might, maybe one day after getting on PlayStation, get all 3, and being on PlayStation, get all 3 games on them on Switch 2 just to see how it runs through a micro SD card and digital purchases, but, and maybe Kingdom Hearts as well, but we'll see. But, yep. Trailer. We need to find the trailer. It's for all 3 games, because they're both, all 3 games of the episodes.
So, Cloud, you were a soldier first class.
Okay, let me see. Final Fantasy. So, this is going to be a long video. I can already tell. We've been 3 minutes and I've already been setting it up. Don't worry. Don't worry. And, no, not the Xbox launcher, not the Switch version either, because that was the first one to leave Nintendo. I understand why, because it couldn't be done, but neither could Ocarina of Time or Mario be done on PlayStation. It was a weird generation. Some games need to be on one or the other system, depending on what they were. I'll do that in another video. I plan one day how system limitations define in the past systems. I might be able to even do it for other systems. Define, like, where is it? So I'm going to do this, right? So, what is the story of Final Fantasy VII Remake?
That's right.
So, I've played 7 Remake all the way through. I haven't played, although granted my first playthrough on PlayStation 4, I gave my old PS4 copy to Dad. I have a PS5 copy that I got instead. I'm playing through that again because there was a glitch. I need to report that to Square somehow. That's why I'm restarting. But apparently the story is you're an eco-terrorist group trying to stop the plant from bleeding dry and trying to defeat a evil corporation named Shinra who's bleeding the plant dry through something called Mako. Now, granted, there is Chocobo, there is like these weird creatures. It's kind of like Xenoblade nowadays for the youth. But basically the 7 games, the trilogy, and the old franchise has, like, it does have magic in it. So there is that, but it's a fantasy realm. It does have really cool, um, really badass characters sometimes. Well, the earlier 6 games did not. Has chocobos, it has like materia. You get the gist. It's just Final Fantasy, but this one's a remake of the original PS1 game. So after bombing a few reactors, Cloud and Aerith, which he stumbles upon after bombing the first reactor, which he's doing that just to do a job. Later on in the game, Sector 7 plates fall. Yes, I am going into spoiler territory, as far as I'm concerned. And no, we won't mention the big spoiler for Rebirth until we get to it. I'll get people warning for when to skip to when I'm editing the video. Just kidding, it's as well known as Romeo and Juliet's ending, that big twist. Aerith dies in the middle of the second part for emotional impact, so I won't talk this girl. So I won't talk about that anymore. Let's just move on. So basically, Cloud, and somehow I have like past existence deja vu. I'll get to playing games like Silent Hill or Final Fantasy VII. I'll get to that, or Crash Bandicoot. I'll get to that one day. How freaked out I am, but whatever. So, let's just say this. It's probably why I gravitate to Smash Bros. This life, because it's more new for me, but yeah, let's say this. So basically, Cloud Strife and the whole Avalanche gang, which is the terrorist group you work for, that's trying to save the planet, discovers that Shinra was actually, there was this civilization of ancients that existed. Aerith's the last ancient, although she dies. I will get into a game theory in this video, why she decided to die. My theory is she needed to die and she knew it to save the planet. It's a game theory that existed in my timeline from Matthew Patrick, but basically, I'll get to what happens in part 3 later. But basically, they discover that Shinra's planning to destroy the planet with the asteroid. Kind of like how most conspiracy theorists think of Nibiru or the apocalypse for any other myth or whatnot. Or like an asteroid for the dinosaurs or whatnot. It's kind of like... And they, at the end of the game, near the end of the game, after discovering that, they decide they have to like go on a road to the edge and defeat like all these ghost creatures, which weren't in the original game. I could tell. Okay, people. Basically in the original game, there weren't these ghost creatures. There are, and they're trying to make sure that the events are mostly the same as they were in the original games, because some of the events are being altered in this one that might tie into part of the story in these new game. It might be revealed why that's happening in the third act. But and maybe even partially in the second act. I haven't got into that yet, so do not spoil it for me why the ghost creatures are there. But basically, the story is, after doing that, they actually have to go. And
really?
there are
What's
some scenes that are a little conspicuous,
Nothing,
like
just that you were the same rank.
And like
as who?
The first guy I ever left.
Really weird town. I'm not gonna spoil it for anyone who hasn't played it. It's not well known, but Honeybee is.
Wow.
And what's really cool
Your
about this
eyes.
game is they managed to faithfully
Aerith is an
as
ancient.
much as humanly possible.
Probably the last one living.
You know,
recreate
you're not
the
just any
entire
little
thing.
girl.
They even had Sephiroth.
You're a descendant of the ancients.
You're wrong! I'm not an ancient!
When we're older,
What's even
and you're a
crazier-
famous soldier, if I'm ever trapped or in trouble, promise you'll come and save me.
Is he
Sephiroth.
in the second part they go on
Soldiers.
some
I'm
adventures,
sick of this.
have some fun
I'm
going to
sick
an
of all
island
of this.
later on,
I've never been so proud.
they go to an
Women
ancient
must be hounding you
lost
day
city
and night.
I'd
of
really
an
love to
ancient
stay and chat,
civilization,
but
and
we gotta
Eric
go.
dies
So
sacrificing
soon?
himself. I will
Got
get
more
into a
pizza in the
game theory
oven? I'll
one
take
day,
another.
Wedge! Looky
but
here,
I'm not going to do
boys.
that because...
Burglars!
But basically,
I'm coming
in
for
the
you
third part, the
viciously,
whole
without
planet
mercy.
just has all these giants
You seek
awaken,
my
and the
approval,
asteroid tries to
do
hit.
you?
If you will try to go on
I should warn you.
back to Midgar,
Dale, you
literally
lose.
destroy the asteroid, have
Give
a
it
final
back.
fight with Seth
Give it
Rock,
back.
trying to get his revenge.
going?
It's a
I'm
really
sorry,
interesting
honey.
game.
I wish I didn't have.
Now,
Perhaps
this is a
best described as
JRPG. It is really good. Like, there's a really good combat scene in this one. Both turn-based original and random, which is why...
Sack of it.
Actually, and yes, I will talk about my desire to do, like, a Super Mario RPG style remaster for Final Fantasy VII. Like, there was a Switch 2 remaster of a Mario Square Enix game, Super Mario RPG. I hope the team who did that does a remaster of the original one day, because, let's face it, has aged worse. It is a good game still. It can still really be enjoyed, but we have to admit it's aged really badly. But here's the thing about this version, like, I call it Final Fantasy VII Remastered, not remake. People were But here's the thing that's really cool about this. You actually have some pretty cool
Justice,
anime-esque action scenes. It's
Vain
more
in totems
photorealistic.
as everyone.
Every
Character
time the whispers
designs
touch
are
me,
really
I lose
cool,
something,
despite being
a part of
photorealistic
myself.
things. There's a really cool art direction with all of these. And what's even more cool is the second part has an open world.
It's gotta be hiding some ginormous material.
Don't misunderstand.
I haven't
Lead
gotten to
the way.
that part yet. It's gonna be really fun tonight too.
A shadow
But
fell
basically,
upon our
what's going to
planet.
be really cool about the third part,
Guided
and
by
this is why I'm
calamity,
replaying the game,
one man sought dominion through
you
reunion.
we're going to
By
finally
his
defeat
will,
Sephiroth.
a star fell,
And there's literally
a
going to be
meteor
like this
called
huge
forth
meteor
to
you
bring
fight.
ruin to all.
I mean, this is going to be an
But our
amazing
planet
game.
answered, awakening mighty weapons to stand
gonna
against
be
the
really awesome.
celestial threat.
But basically, you're going to, not only that, you can actually traverse the whole world
At
in this
last.
one, I think. Where's the scene?
What are we waiting for?
Yeah,
Let's
you
give
can go
Sephiroth
be
the
the
beating
airship
of a
for a
lifetime.
long, most of the scene. Yeah, it's gonna be really freaking fun. And you can see the scale gets bigger every time, every part of the trilogy.
I'll make this
The reason
quick.
why I'm doing this,
Good night.
I'm doing it as like a note for why game trilogies. And yes,
I can do this.
most of
I'll
my
make
games
you proud.
in my gaming universe will be half.
Just ain't your
If I
day.
do ever get to make it,
Oh
I'm probably gonna want to be a game director either.
As far as I can tell,
here's the
these
thing,
things don't
and
distinguish between
developer-
friend and foe.
But basically,
Save
what's
the
really
planet
cool
by
about
killing her
this
protectors.
is the trilogy was literally written already. They just had to make
Let us
some
put your
alterations
faith
because
to the
there's no way
test.
to recreate it fully.
Cloud.
But the whole, and not only that, what's really cool is you're literally gonna be able, like, it's a definitive game trilogy. Just like the original game was on 3 discs, and I like that. Like, episode 1, 2, 3. I'm playing this currently. I have a lot of other games. And the reason why I'm talking about this one is because, well, let's be honest here. It is such an enigma game. This was like the first game. Now, I know I'm a huge Nintendo and Sony nerd, but even though I'm both of them, let's be real here, and I will talk about Luffy in a minute. I'll save that for another video. Screw it. But let's just say this. I really like the trilogy format. I like when they stick to a trilogy. And by making the remake of the 7th game, which every Final Fantasy numbered one has its own story, a trilogy, kind of like how the original was done in 3 discs. They actually make the remake of 7, not the remaster I might pitch, a trilogy, a definitive trilogy. And on top of that, the scale gets bigger and, like, the story gets more massive every time the game goes on. And there are important events, like, if you haven't played the original game, I don't know how she dies in the new one. It's almost the same, but there is a scene in the original game where she does die. And apparently her death, she basically had to die in order for a plan to stop the asteroid because she was willing to sacrifice herself. According to MatPat, I don't think the game ever told us that, but that's my theory. I adopt that theory. But what's really cool is you literally have, it's like a whole universe. And yes, basically, not only that, but this is one of the worlds in the Final Fantasy universe. Basically, what's really cool
Long ago,
is you literally have this is like the best game franchise so far. The only time I think they might ever be able to top this if they ever made a Final Fantasy in space, I don't think that's going to happen right now. They're going to go 2D back to like HD 2D or something like that next time for 17. Mainly because the creators have burnt out and they need a new vision in order to create another really big Final Fantasy. I'm not into the Final Fantasy games this lifetime, although I have a feeling I was last. But these games are amazing, I heard. And they need someone to, I know I'm not the one who's gonna do it, might not be. They need someone to create a new vision, and if I was called up to do Final Fantasy 18, I'd study up on the franchise, and I would immediately create a space-themed one. Because here's the thing, because we already got our medieval one, and I was really good. Like, I heard 16 was pretty good. Granted, I don't have time to play all my games on the shelf, but I heard these games are really getting good. But yeah. Anyways, and what's really good is you have like a materia system, you got like a system with upgrading, and you got like the whole combat system, the open world in the next 2 games. It is a really good franchise. And a good trilogy within the franchise. Now I'm going to move on to the next game. Okay? Well,